Prepare to get gas because it's time for the Week in Gear. I'm Andy and I've scoured the internet for the best new guitar gear released in the last 7 days so that you don't have to. This week, PRS strips away the fluff to build an ultra-minimalist single pickup metal weapon. Kramer celebrates 50 years of shred history, and Gibson brings back a fully hollow thin classic after an unbelievable 8-year break in production. This episode is sponsored by the very fine folk at Very Nice Guitars. More about that in a bit. Now, let's kick off this week's gear list with a guitar from Maryland that proves that just sometimes less is more. First up is a rare move from PRS Guitars, who usually like to pack their instruments with intricate birds and deeply figured flame maple tops. This time, they've gone in a completely bare bones direction for mammoth touring guitarist John Jordan. This is the brand new PRS John Jordan limited edition. Very limited edition. The whole philosophy here is pure road utility. PRS went ahead and stripped out all the normal wiring clutter. You get a set neck mahogany solid body featuring their classic violin top carve. That's paired with a one-piece pattern regular mahogany neck. And that is glued to a completely bare 10-inch radius ebony fretboard. It's unusual. 22 frets, standard PRS wire, and absolutely no inlays on the front whatsoever. But they did, however, include loom inlay side dots, green ones, so that you don't get completely lost on a dark stage or in a dark room thinking about your life choices. Electronics wise, it is sparse. Sparse is almost an understatement. Minimal, basic, essential. It is one volume knob and one pickup away from being an acoustic. There is no neck pickup, which John says keeps the magnets from pulling on the strings and lets the guitar feel a lot more alive. Instead, you get a single high output PRS metal treble humbucker wired to a lone volume control. And because John plays wide open and tends to get a bit reckless with his strumming hand on stage, I can relate to that, they actually moved that single volume pot down to the traditional tone control position so he won't clip it during the performance. Clever idea. The rest of the hardware is top tier PRS. You get a solid PRS adjustable stop tail bridge, nickel hardware, and phase 3 locking tuners carrying custom ebony buttons, which really set off the look of this guitar. The whole thing is dressed up in a high gloss nitro finish and comes in platinum metallic and gunmetal metallic. Nice. I'm not sure which one I prefer. I think the darker one. And it also carries a signed backplate, and instead of a standard case, these ship inside a heavy-duty PRS ATA multi-fit molded flight case. Yeah, I know. I love this. That shape looks so good with one pickup. I love the look, I love the specs, I love the sounds I've heard in the release videos. I fully fell for this, but here's the catch. PRS is only making 200 of these worldwide for 2026. And here's the second catch. Stripping out all that stuff has somehow pushed up the price, and these are landing at around an eye-watering 4,000 notes. I absolutely love a single pickup guitar, but over $4,000 for a guitar with no neck pickup cavity is a massive ask for a working musician. If you have deep pockets, it's probably a phenomenal tool. For the rest of us, the pricing definitely holds it back, which is why the gasometer settles on a highly cautious borrow it if you can find it. I would love to see this as an SE model and for it to be under 1,000 notes. If PRS could SE-ify this and get it out for under 800, there would be a lot of those sold. Enough dreaming. Links to the guitar that actually exists in the description. Prepare yourselves. I'm about to talk about the Big F. Yeah, try and hold in your anger, or go and kick the neighbor's dog instead of angering at my comments section.
Sorry, mate, I'm gonna have to stop you
Wait.
right there. It's not okay. You can't ask the audience to go and kick
My
the
producer is telling me,
that's not okay.
to instruct you not to kick your not to kick your neighbor's dog.
Actually, don't kick any animal.
Or any other animal for that matter. So,
No dog
okay, yeah, I'm on it. So no dog kicking, please.
Something about playing authentic.
Yeah, thanks. Incidentally, my ex-neighbor used to have a dog called Fender. True story. And we come full circle. So, let's talk about a mid-year drop from Fender that tackles pedalboard real estate. Fender has officially re-engineered 4 of their modern stomp boxes for an updated, smarter format. They've released the V2 versions of the Santa Ana Overdrive, the Pugilist Distortion, and the Benz Compressor. They've all been given a proper layout overhaul. Fender's completely ditched the wide side jacks from the original enclosures and replaced them with space-saving top-mounted jacks. They also added some clever rear switches that expand on the features of the version 1, and every pedal has had something new added to the functionality, and they are expanded versions. They're all housed in lightweight aluminium enclosures, but the one pedal I really want to focus on is the purple monster of the group, the Pelt V2 Fuzz. For the fuzz connoisseur, this is a bit of a playground. It's built around a silicon transistor design, but it has a buffer-friendly input stage, meaning that unlike vintage fuzz boxes that throw a temper tantrum if they don't see your guitar first in the chain, this one plays completely nicely anywhere on your board. Say Fender. The control layout is deep. Alongside your standard level, fuzz, and tone adjustments, Fender included sag and bloom controls, and these let you shape the attack and the compression, allowing you to morph that texture from a smooth, rich sustain all the way down to a sputtering, starved circuit Velcro tone. To make sure that your guitar behaves in a live mix, you get front panel mids and thick toggle switches to instantly inject some low-end girth or to push your mid-range. There's also an onboard blend knob to mix your dry signal back in, which is a total lifesaver for bass players or for stacking pedals. But I think the real party trick is the dedicated second foot switch for the octave. And stepping on that gives you a classic octave up tracking. But if you engage the rear chaos switch, it alters the circuit into an asymmetrical, beautifully glitchy octave effect that says it spits out unpredictable tonal madness. Oh, those are all words that make me very happy. Assuming the core sounds are the same, every pedal in this lineup seems to be an improvement on the first versions. But apart from Fender being told to sit in the corner and face the wall at the moment, the hugest problem with these pedals is that there are no sound samples available online. No official release videos, no videos from people like me. Are we supposed to guess what these pedals sound like? Because it seems that way. And this is a shame. Oh, and another thing. When I first saw these, I thought that they were poor copies from somewhere like AliExpress or Temu. I thought that the design looked like someone had asked AI to make Fender pedals, but I will admit, one of the problems I had with the V1s was that the writing was hard to read in low light or under stage lights because they were all shiny. But if we put both on screen, you'll see that the new versions should be a lot more player friendly, which I guess is the whole point of these new releases. See, Fender can be friendly too. Well done, Fender. This could also be the downfall of the pedals. If the Pelt Fuzz had been released by someone like Beatronics with crazy graphics and all of these functions and switches, I think fuzz lovers would be fighting to get this on their board. But with the current Fender rigmarole, I don't think that many people are excited about these, and not many people are talking about them. And back to the design, it has grown on me, and now I like it. No, nay, I dig it. The whole V2 range lands at around 200 notes each. If these were made by anyone else but Fender, they would be extremely popular right now. The gasometer for the Pelt V2 lands on a solid buy it now. Before we move on, I need your input on something. Let's talk about the sponsor making this episode possible, Very Nice Guitars. Yes, once again, the very nice people at veryniceguitars.com have sponsored the Week in Gear, so I can tell you that they're launching a brand new website. This is the old website, but by the time you watch this, the new one may very well be live. And I need your help, because Very Nice Guitars want to send a guitar out for me to review for you, but they want to let you choose the guitar, which is a bit scary for me. But I've asked them to give me 3 choices, and you get to choose one of those 3. Would you like to see this ESP Stream Miku Custom? It's incredibly rare, incredibly cool, and yes, it is that Miku, the same one from the Miku pedal. Or would you like to see this Yamaha SG-1000, the Takanaka spec, which is a refinished SG-1000 in a very gorgeous pink? I dig that. Not trying to sway your vote. Or finally, would you like to see this PRS Custom 24 20th Anniversary 10 top? That's a lot of numbers, and if you like PRS guitars, that seems like a pretty good one. All you have to do is comment down below which guitar you'd like to see, and if you want more information, there's a link to veryniceguitars.com in the video description so you can get a bit more knowledgeable before you place your vote. And whichever guitar gets the most votes will be on this channel very, very soon. Thank you, Very Nice Guitars, for sponsoring this episode of The Week in Gear. Good luck with the new website, and thank you to you for voting for your favorite guitar. Now, let's get back to the show. Next up, we're heading straight into the neon-soaked arena of 80s shred royalty. Believe it or not, Kramer is turning 50, and now owned by Gibson. To cash in on, to celebrate, they have unleashed a limited edition lineup finished in a seriously loud, glossy, metallic anniversary gold. Have a look at all of them. The full collection drops with 6 models. The 50th anniversary 84, the 50th anniversary Volante HHFR, the 50th anniversary SM1HH, the 50th anniversary Pacer Carrera, the 50th anniversary Night Swan, and my favorite of the entire release, the Kramer 50th anniversary Beretta. The Beretta is a total homage to Kramer's first golden age, keeping the workflow beautifully streamlined, and it features a solid maple body, sounds heavy, with forearm and rear contours, a bolt-on 3-piece maple neck with a fast but thin profile, a 12-inch radius ebony fretboard, nice, simple dot inlays, and 22 jumbo frets. Up top, it rocks the iconic hockey stick headstock matching the gold finish, and carrying a Floyd Rose locking nut, that's a black string retainer bar, and mini tuners. And the hardware is anchored by a black Floyd Rose 1000 series tremolo bridge. Under the hood, it is deliberately minimalist. You get one single uncovered Kramer Eruption T Pro humbucker, and that's with classic zebra bobbins. That's at the bridge, of course, routed to a master volume control, topped with a black knurled, love that word, metal knob. But they did add a sort of hidden weapon thing. Weapon's a strong word. A hidden function. The volume pot has a push-pull switch for series and parallel modes on that humbucker, so it's not as simple as it looks. But this is the second stripped back one pickup guitar of the episode, and I don't think that's happened before. This ships in a Kramer gig bag and will only be available during this milestone anniversary year. So, if you are a collector who's been waiting for an iconic 80s shred platform wrapped in a massive celebratory aesthetic, this is an absolute home run. And at around 1,000 notes, it is not as expensive as it could have been. The gasometer lands on a resounding buy it now for the sheer audacity of making all gold guitars. If you want more info on models other than the Beretta, I've put links in the video description. Thank you, please. Now let's shift from the high voltage shred straight into absolute vintage royalty. After an 8-year break in production, the Gibson Custom Shop has welcomed a true classic back into their historic reissue core lineup. These are the brand new Gibson Custom Historic Reissue 1959 and 1962 ES330 models. The core blueprint features a thin, fully hollow body, built from 3-ply maple, poplar and maple. Unlike an ES335, these do not incorporate that maple center block, and stripping away that wood block gives the instrument a much more open acoustic presence and far greater unplugged volume, which cemented its reputation as one of the ultimate couch guitars around. They're also superb at giving some body vibrating feedback when used with a fuzz pedal or high gain, and I dig it. Hydration break. Gibson is dropping these in 2 distinct vintage configurations. First is the 1959 ES330 reissue. This features a one-piece mahogany neck carved to a substantial, comfortable, and dare I say, authentic 1959 C profile. The bound rosewood fretboard runs simple cellulose dot inlays, and the hardware brings true historic gold top hat knobs with dial pointers. So classy. It comes finished in a soft VOS gloss nitro lacquer available in vintage natural, pretty, or vintage burst, classic. There's a very loud car outside, I don't know if you can hear it. Next, you have the 1962 ES330 reissue, and this variant swaps the chunkier, better neck for a sleeker, slim taper 60s C profile. Ugh, yucky. The rosewood board moves to period correct small block inlays, and the controls are topped with black top hat knobs carrying the silver inserts, which I think do I prefer those? Maybe. I'll think about it later, in my own time. This one lands in 60s cherry or vintage burst. And I want the 50s model, but in 60s cherry, of course. On both models, the neck meets the body at the 16th fret, and they're driven by a matched pair of P90 pickups with black dog ear covers. Gibson used an Alnico 3 magnet in the bridge and an underwound 5 Alnico 5 magnet in the neck. Because it is fully hollow, high gain will induce feedback fast, but with careful muting and less adventure, it will behave with low to moderate overdrive, or just throw caution to the wind. It's beautiful, I promise. They carry historically accurate nickel hardware, a no-wire ABR1 bridge, and a trapeze tailpiece, and they ship inside a premium historic Lifton case. Tidy. Being premium custom shop Gibson masterpieces, they're going to set you back some serious notes, and you won't get much change out of around 6 grand cripes. But if you want a blues or jazz machine from Gibson Custom Shop, it is nice to have the option back after all these years. The gasometer climbs to a healthy add to cart, but then drops back down to borrow it. And take bloody good care of it. No, don't rest it up against the amp. Put it back in the case when you're not playing it. You wouldn't want to ding this one, would you? Who do you think you are? Tom Murphy?
Andy's Pick of the Week.
And finally, we've arrived at the absolute grand final, my undisputed Pick of the Week. Down in Denmark, the design team at Baum Guitars has officially stepped into traditional rhythm section territory with a new silhouette that is entirely their own, but is functionally very familiar. This is the brand new Baum Guitars Pace Bass, fun to say, in pure black. And there's some other colors, we'll go over those in a minute. Yeah, I chose a bass as my pick of the week. Get off my back. All right? The whole philosophy behind the Pace is a direct nod to the iconic punchy P-bass split coil tone and wrapped in a, for me, beautiful contoured Danish layout. Just like this video. I should probably explain that. My editor, Victor, is Danish. Hey Victor. Yes, this video has been edited by a Viking. Back to the bass. It features a lightweight mahogany body capped with a dark metallic finish, available in that pure black, sienna pearl, deep forest, and moon silver. Man, be still my beating heart. On the pure black, that is an anodized metal pickguard. For playability and stability, you get a satin finished roasted maple neck, carved to a fast modern C profile. Fine, on a bass, a modern C is okay, I'll accept that. And it's topped with a 12-inch radius rosewood fretboard with crown inlays. You get a high mass, top-loaded bridge, custom-designed Baum knobs, and a set of tuners carrying a rock-solid 20:1 gear ratio. The engine powering the signal path is fully passive. It's driven by a single Gold Sound Lowrider split coil pickup. I find that difficult to say. Gold Sound Lowrider split coil pickup. Voiced at a balanced 9.5K output with Alnico 5 magnets, and being a Baum instrument, every single instrument gets a full premium tech setup directly at their workshop in Denmark before it ships. Now looks-wise, I think the color choices are solid. If you know me, you're probably expecting me to say that I think this red one is the best looking one, but surprisingly, you'd be wrong. I think the pure black with the gold anodized pickguard has my heart a-fluttering. It is, however, an extra 100 notes for the pickguard, and here we hit a snag. The Pace Bass is both familiar and completely different, but starting at around 1,700 notes. And this price point is, I think, a huge stumbling block and might not convince bass players to part with that cash. It is a P-bass, but wrapped up in a beautiful design with high quality hardware. But for an instrument crafted in Indonesia and set up in Denmark, it is pushing the financial boundary, shall we say. You have to really love this bass to trust Baum's reputation to deliver. It is now available to pre-order from Baum Guitars website, and having played many of Baum's guitars and a few basses, I can set your mind at ease and that based on past experience, this Pace Bass should be superb. And if that is not enough, it comes with a 45-day return policy. The gasometer leaps right past the checkout line and lands on an absolutely unquestioned wallet on fire for this. And it's a bass. If you're watching on a TV, here is the QR code to scan for all the info, and for everyone else, there are links in the video description and first comment. You see these people here, these beautiful names scrolling their way up the screen, they help make this show possible. Without them, you wouldn't be watching this. In fact, your life right now would be this. To stop moments like this, support the show, and no one gets a black screen and silence. Showing the highest level of support are the following top tier members: Antonio Cruz Beretta, Buddha Blue, Boom Shakalaka, Buzzle, Chris Kelly, Craig's Fist, Darth Bagel, David Meyer, Dirk, Doug Paget, Fuzz Onkel, Yindrik Strelka, Johnny McBadminton, Kultur Pop, Mike Lute, Andrew Morgan, Craig Vb, Darius Lives, Gary O'Neill, Josh Tanberg, Man, Dude, Bro, Fat Raptor, PQ Deads, Sarang Narayan, Sanya Chen, Sarah Marie, Searching for Tone, Southern Panda 33, Thunderbird Calls, Twig is inconceivable, brilliant, good show, man. I wish you a great week. May it be filled with guitar and maybe the occasional bass. Use the word smooth in the comments to show the world you watched until the end, and until next time, keep it greasy. Bye!